I like to think about standard order as two things. And Rob mentioned both of them, but maybe to try and put it in one definition, standard order encompasses sort of first knowing this order of these number names, sort of through learning the song, through rote counting or verbal counting as it's called sometimes. That's the first step in attaining standard order or understanding standard order. The second part of it is what was mentioned, which is the understanding that order matters, right? So not just that you know the order, but that you get that the order matters when you're counting a set of objects. And it's those two pieces that sort of make up that first principle.
Okay, so my first question for you is just can you count these?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So how
So
many?
the standard order principle is something that is a conceptual idea. So this is standard order principle, a conceptual understanding of something that's often considered as a rote memorization idea. So something that is in the vernacular among many preschool teachers and early elementary teachers is this notion of rote counting. Standard order principle is closely related to that, but it's the idea that that the order of the numbers matter. So it's not just memorizing the order of the names of the numbers, and that there's an important conceptual distinction between understanding that sort of being able to say the numbers and understanding that the order of those numbers are meaningful. The standards that are in place right now in Florida, and for that matter in a lot of the country, give particular attention to the idea of counting and cardinality. They gave it its own domain in kindergarten only. It's a good start. And there's one standard in particular within there that really is sort of where all these ideas come together in one single standard, really. It's a doozy. And these words aren't used exactly, but rather the standard describes the idea behind them. And we think it's particularly useful for teachers to have these words. So it's for one thing, it's a little bit shorter to say than the whole phrase in the standard. You can just say cardinality, or you can say standard order, or you can say conservation of cardinality, things like that.
And a good example of this when we're thinking about standard order is the standard says something like the student knows the number names in the standard order. And that's sort of described very generally as the standard order principle. Like that's listed right in there, and it's one of those great connections between the standard and then the vernacular that we're using and then what's happening in the classroom.
And I think it's really important that the standards have brought these ideas, sort of made them more salient, brought them to the surface, and have created and prompted this opportunity for teachers to learn this language and pay a little more attention to what children are learning and understanding as they're learning to count in kindergarten.